Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Time to take that walk and go see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Look here, Stoneface IPA. I don't know if I've had anything from Stoneface. It's not ringing a bell. They're out of New Hampshire, so I may have picked something up recently, but it's nothing sticking in my mind about this. This is not a big beer. When I say that, it's 7.2%, so a standard IPA, if you will. This says it's ranked number 45 on Beer Advocate, so I don't know. 50 IBUs, it says here on the can, 7.2%, OG 17 degree, brewed on the seacoast, Newington, New Hampshire, the way we like it. A hop-forward IPA features a clean, balanced profile with bright citrus, notes of liberal, dry hopping. Live free, drink craft, sediment on the bottom is normal. Hey, yes. Government warning. And on the bottom it says, oh, got all kind of writing on it. I got 4 lines of writing on here. I can't read the top one. Drink, call, something. 4 pours and 7 beers ago. 02-12-24. February the 12th, 2024. Drink 4 pours and 7 beers. Yes. Anyway, brewed on the seacoast. Alright guys, that's basically it. Let's jump over to Untapped. Same thing. So, featuring Citra, Simcoe, Amarillo, and Columbus hops. So, clean balanced malt profile with Citra, Simcoe, Amarillo, and Columbus. I brewed with all of those. Very tasty hops. Especially the Simcoe and Citra. Super tasty hop. So we got the ABV, we got the IBUs, we got the canned on date, we got it all. Let's get it in the glass. Not super hazy. Not milkshake hazy. Cloudy. We'll just say cloudy. I don't even use the word hazy. Slightly hazy. Almost 2 fingers of head. Guys, I can see the light through the thin part down here. I don't think it's just an unfiltered beer. 50 IBUs. I don't know if it'd be borderline between East Coast and West Coast. Usually the West Coast style is a little heavier than that, but I have seen them that low. Looks good. What do you think? Is it cloudy enough for a New England style? They're not claiming it. It's not saying it here on the Untapped. So, to the nose we go. Very citrusy. I mean, the citra hops is shining through. Little bit of pine. I mean, I was expecting a lot. I was expecting a lot more presence from Citra, Simcoe, Amarillo, and Columbus. Nice and citrusy, I'm gonna say that. And then tangerines, oranges, a little bit of pine, and maybe a hint of some grapefruit. Not a lot of tropical fruit notes or anything. Let's find out. Let's dive in. Cheers. The 50 IBUs is a strong 50 IBUs. It's got a bite to it, so tastes more like 65 to 70 to me. That is a pleasant beer, though. I would say that would be a cross. Instead of a New England style or a West Coast style, we'll just call it an East Coast style. We put them both together. We got the New England hazy dropping down, and we got the West Coast bitter sliding across. So I like it. That's nice. That is very pleasant. It reminds me of a lot of the earlier New England style or hazy beers that were produced before they really got serious about it. So the haze craze had started. What has that been now? 6, 7 years? Alright. Back in for a swirly swirl, and it's alive. Alright. We got it all in there. I don't see any big chunkiness, but there is, and then they tell you, sediment in the bottom. So we'll see what we got when we get to the end, guys. I like it. So far so good. And before I run away, let me tell you, this beer cost, it was $5.89. $5.80, which is for 7.2 IPA. That's a little on the heavy side. Of course, you're going to get a price break if you buy 4 of them. But that should be, I would think that would probably should be maybe 50 cents to $1 cheaper than that, maybe. And I do get a discount on that. I tell you these prices. That's what it is. That's what the sticker says on the shelf. So, and most people that probably frequent that place gets a discount. I mean, they're going to treat the regulars right anyway, you know. And depending on how regular are, if you're going there every week, every other day, you probably get an even better discount. I don't know how it works there. But anyway, guys, I like this one. Let's go sip on it. Alright, guys, I'm back. Got just a little bit left here, and it has left some awesome lacing on that glass. Look at it. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Guys, I think it's a decent beer. I think it's a decently well-made beer. A lot of hop went into this. Citra, Simcoe, Amarillo, Columbus. It's just not blowing my hair back on my socks off, and I really didn't expect it to, for the price point and for the ABV and the type of can here that's printed up. To me, when I looked at it and I seen the price of it, I said, I bet this is going to be like a transitional or some kind of sessional beer that's going to be fairly plain and mute. Because it didn't tell me about the hops. It doesn't say that they've got all those wonderful hops in it on the can here. So, and I don't even take my phone in when I go in there, guys. I mean, I try to do a lot of this stuff instead of searching and hand picking and spending 3 hours in there trying to pick out 10 beers. I just do it on the fly. You know, that's how it's working. So I mean, if it's a C beer, it is, and if it's a 10 beer, it is. So I mean, so with that being said, yeah, I think it's a decent beer. It's enjoyable. I would buy this if it was reasonably priced at the Kroger store down here for a go-to beer. It's that good. Look at the lacing. I mean, that's usually quality there when you see that that kind of lacing left on the glass. So impressive. Final chug. And I don't have a whole lot of sediment at all. So they didn't really need to print on this one. This must have been one of the early ones out of the tank before it got down to where the sediment was at. Here we go. To me, for that much hops, it's kind of one-dimensional. More just citrusy to me. Oranges, tangerines, a little bit of pine. Maybe a hint of some. It's not even tart like grapefruit or anything. So, to me, the Citra and the Simcoe, I don't know if I'm getting any of the Amarillo or Columbus. Columbus is pretty mute anyway, but I don't think it was a whole lot of hops being thrown in here. So, but it was a decent beer. 88 for me, guys. B+. I'm not going to beat around it anymore. And over to Beer Advocate, They have 95. I'm a long way off from that. Untapped has it at 3.91. I'm along with that. That's where I'm at. I'm right beside of that. And 32,457 ratings on this beer. So this beer's been around and around and around and all around. Been in everybody's bed. 32,000. I had never heard of Stoneface. Evidently, this is their flagship beer. It has to be. It has to be their flagship beer. But I think it's a decent beer. Reminds me of a good home brewer's beer. So I don't know how big this brewery is, Stoneface, or how many beers. I can tell you that real quick. Let's jump over there before I leave, just to get a kind of an idea if they've got a short list or a long list of beers they produce. That's a lot of ratings, guys. That really is. A, B, C, decent amount. It ain't pages and pages, but the 204 active and 36 retired and 88 new is listed, and you can take that information with a grain of salt from Beer Advocate. So decent amount, and over 200 beers. So seems like they did this one. I'm seeing New England style IPAs listed here for the amount of beers. So they're doing a bunch of different stuff. So maybe they're up and coming. I don't know. Like I said, we'll see. Then I see 2020. So they've been around for 3 or 4 years at least anyway. So with that being said, if you've had this beer from Stoneface IPA, let me know what you think, guys. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.